Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your February 2015 reading with me. We're going to do 4 cards and then a card from the bottom of the deck which will represent the overall energy, and then we will do the last card at the end, which everyone loves, the high vibrational energy cards. Now before I started the reading for you, I got the colour purple that came in for some reason, and I think of that as being the third eye energy, that sort of spiritual connection. So we'll see what comes out for you. So here we are for Capricorn for February. The Knight of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups rather, the Sun, and the Three of Pentacles. So bearing in mind this is the first week, second week, third and fourth, often when the court cards turn up it can represent a person, literally. So there could be someone around in the first week of February who's sort of a fire sign energy, and maybe someone a bit younger who has some form of influence in one way or another which could affect you at work. It could be someone at work that either supports you or brings you some sort of news. This can also be a possibility if you're looking for new romance, that someone could be coming into your life along these lines. And it's often the energy of creative thought, and sort of he's on a journey. He's actually leaving the reading almost. So it's at the very beginning, there's this quite really quick energy coming in. And sitting right next to it is another Wands card, the Three of Wands. So they're quite similar in creative type, thought processing energy. And this can sometimes be indicative of travel. So also he's turning his back on things, and he's often contemplating his future. So whether or not these two go together in that first 2 weeks about new propositions or potential changes, or looking in a new direction, or thinking about something new ideas coming in, there could be a connection there. And it could be to do with work, because this overall card for the month has a feeling of, well, it's Pentacles, it's money, finances, career. And this card is actually quite a good card. It has positive affirmations, and quite often it's about you receiving some form of feedback or proposition or positivity around your career, even your current career. Someone might offer you something, which could be this person here even. And it's often collaboratively worked, so there's more than just you, it involves someone else as well. It could be a time when you receive some sort of accolade, or you get some sort of accreditation, or you get a progressive jump up in one way or another. It's actually quite a nice positive card. So overall, I think for you, for the month of February, your finances should be just quite steady without too much concern, and certainly none of these cards in particular are addressing financial issues. So we've talked about these two initially, and with the prospect of him thinking about his future, or where is he going in life, what is it he wants, and possibly indicating travel, or thinking about planning travel, or thinking about his career as well and the direction. Now this one, the Eight of Cups, again he's walking away. So you've got two next to each other with their backs walking out of view. So I feel like you may be leaving something behind in January. And even though this one is more often associated with career, this one is more often associated with feelings of the heart chakra, or that type of connection. So love or romance or relationships or family, or something that pulls at your heart, that you've had a heart connection. But I often say to people, you've gained all this beautiful energy from down here, all these wonderful memories, lessons and growth from the cups that are present, and you're merely walking in a new direction. You're walking towards this pathway up here, which does appear to be a little bit difficult when you first start. You're a bit sad possibly about leaving whatever it is you've got to leave behind, or that you choose to leave behind, but you're heading in a new direction. And that always brings more growth, more opportunities, new people to come into your life, new situations, new learning. So if we look at the balance, instead of just looking at things from one perspective, and we look at the balance, most everything, every plausible negative aspect that you might think about has a positive. That saying, every cloud has a silver lining? It is actually true. Now, towards the end of February, you've got the Sun. This is your only major arcana card in the reading. It's a beautiful one. It's a real gift. It's a treasure to have. It's just, you can feel it when you just look at the card. It exudes warmth, positivity, happiness, and children. It's also possibly a time of fertility, adoptions, childbirth. It asks us to remind ourselves to be like a child, to feel the love of the connection of children, to get back outdoors and be surrounded with nature. It talks about energy coming in from above, huge energy here, which might be that spiritual connection I was talking about. So towards the end of February, you could feel really quite positive, charged up, because the Sun charges us. It's like our battery power pack. So there's this feeling that you might feel some really exuberant energy coming in about all sorts of things in your life. And you might go charging off on your white horse thinking, yes, I'm off. A bit like these two. You actually kind of pick it all up towards the end of February and you go, right, yes, I'm going to get into this anyhow, regardless of how I might feel here. It is a really positive card. Often, whatever perspective we're looking at, health, finances, love, everything has a general positive vibe when the Sun is around. So overall, I don't see any real cards here that indicate any major health issues. The one thing I could pick up is that it might be stress related, that a bit of anxiety or worrying about your future, where am I going, what am I doing, who will I be with, how do I get there, why am I leaving this behind, am I doing the right thing? I feel that if you've got any health issues, it's probably more evolving from your own internal worry or stresses. This card can sometimes signal, because look at him, he's up on his horse, that's charging away. If he fell off, he'd hurt himself. So sometimes it suggests just take extra caution. You don't want to have a slip or a fall or injure yourself or break a bone or anything. So make sure you think about that, and that would appear to be possibly in the first part of the month anyhow. So overall, Capricorn, quite a good reading there. Lots of positive energies around, bright, happy reading. You've just got a few little thoughts going on in the middle of the month that you will have to make the direction yourself and push yourself in this direction that you're headed in, because in the end you are the one taking the direction. You might seek a little bit of help and information from someone, but you've got to take those steps. So Capricorn, let's move on to your high vibrational energy card and see what comes in. So we'll lay them out here. I keep wanting to come up this end. Haniel, integrity. This is about your own personal integrity quite often, and your own integrity values, and possibly this is why you are walking away from something. When our values don't match with our beliefs, our core belief systems, we get ourselves out of balance, hence the beautiful scales here. So there could be something for you in the month of February that makes you feel out of balance, and the way that you will find that is by as I said, it's yourself. I said this earlier in your reading. This is all about your beliefs, how you balance yourself, your understanding and your integrity. You can't have someone else tell you what to do or tell you how to act or who they want you to be. So it's often about standing up and taking the strength, because this is the red chakra at the very base, the base strength that grounds us into the ground and propels us to stand up and say, no, I'm going to do this my way. I am who I am, which is incredibly important, because you're not the person standing next to you. You're not the person your parents want you to be, you're you. So there's a whole gift here about gaining your strength and setting off on that direction of your future with your integrity and strength. I think when our integrity values are being matched, everything else steps up for us. We get this other great moving forward of our own courage, our own belief that we know we're doing the right thing, that we're going in the right direction. And so it can be about the fact that you may feel someone else has been pulling you in the wrong direction, and it's time for you to stand up, make that disconnection perhaps, and the reconnection with yourself, and move forward in some really positive light and energy. So there you are, Capricorn. Thanks for joining with me for your February reading. I've enjoyed doing it. It feels quite strong and grounded, interestingly enough. So I wish you all the very best for February. I look forward to reading for you in March, which seems a long way off now when I'm only doing these in January. But wishing you all the very best. Kia kaha, much aroha.